Welcome to Prutis IAS. Today I'm going to have a discussion on a very important chapter from the NCERT, which is of class 9th, chapter number 1. And for the UPSC preparations, NCERTs are must. So let's have a look at it word by word and what you have to actually understand and what you have to not. So I hope that you have seen the previous videos of mine of different classes, and here we are going forward to next classes as well. So the first is your area and its location. So we'll analyze one by one that how the India is situated and in the globe, what is its percentage, I mean the area wise percentage, how much area it has acquired, and the population that it has right now as per the area. So the first is that India is one of the ancient civilization in the world. That is undeniable, and we have read it so many times in different textbooks. It has achieved multifaceted socio-economic progress during the last 5 decades and has moved forward, displaying the remarkable progress in the field of agriculture, industry, technology. Now, talking about the ancient India, India has been remarkably well and known across the globe for its various uniqueness, for example, its agriculture, for example, its different dynasties, etc. But one thing has been very, very common, that India has been progressive in the ancient history as well as in today's world. If we see India today, that is also, we can say it's, if we see India today, it is competitive and we can see it through its GDP growth as well. Now coming to the next location, India is vast country lying entirely in the northern hemisphere. Now if I talk about the hemisphere, somebody is very too much confused in what is hemisphere, so they can start from a layman, for any layman person. So if somebody is very confused, quite confused, what is the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, they can start from here. So this is what at the 0 degree we take these axes. These are the latitudes that we have. Please note these are all imaginary lines that we draw in order to locate a particular area on the globe. And then we have the longitudes. Longitudes are represented by these lines. I'm drawing it here like this. Okay. So when I talk about latitudes, the 0 degree is the equator, and above the 0 degree you have the northern hemisphere, and below the 0 degree you have the southern hemisphere. I hope this is not very difficult to understand. Then moving on to the next, if we see the land extends between the latitude 8 degree 4 north and 37 degree 6 south north. So this is important to note that entirely India is lying in the northern hemisphere only. Okay, so if we talk about the degrees, it is extending from 8 degree north 8.4 and 36 degree 37 degree 6 north, and even the longitudinal extent of it is 68 degree 7 east and 97 degree 25 east. That means this is what you call it as 68 and 97, and this is what you call it as, this one is 8 degree north and this is 37 degree north. I am not taking exact one, I am just taking the initials of it like 8 and 37. Next, the Tropic of Cancer. If you see the Tropic of Cancer that passes through the India, and if you see how it is passing, so in the Tropic of Cancer passes through the India in such a way that it almost, I'm using the word almost divides the earth, almost divides the India into two equal halves. It almost divides India into two equal halves. So to the southeast and southwest to the mainland, there are two important islands that are present. So apart from that, the main subcontinent that we are having, which is an Indian subcontinent, we also have the two islands present. So how you have to understand this? Understand in this manner, that here you have India, and then you have two main islands. One is your Andaman Nicobar and one is Lakshadweep. Okay. Next is that the size. What is the size of India? Just look at it. The landmass of India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometer. India's total area accounts for 2.4% of the total geographical area. What do we mean by this? It means that 100% में से सिर्फ 2.4% ही इंडिया का जो एरिया है, इंडियन जो कंट्री है, दैट इज एक्वायरिंग. पूरे 100% में से ओनली 2.4%. That is what we have acquired, and if you see the population of India, that is too high, right? Next, coming on to this, it is clear that India is the 7th largest country. Very important point to note. What you have to note from this, only the main points is the 7th largest country. India has the land boundary of around 15,200 kilometer in total length of coastline of the mainland, including Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep, is 7,516.6 kilometer. What do you mean by that? पूरा लैंड बाउंड्री जो है वो इंडिया का कितना है? इट इज 15,200 किलोमीटर. और जो टोटल लेंथ है कोस्ट लाइन ऑफ मेनलैंड, इसका क्या मतलब है? इफ यू टॉक अबाउट दिस, ये पूरा लैंड जो है, पूरा इंडिया का ये जो पूरा एरिया है, दिस वन, ठीक है, इफ यू कैलकुलेट ऑल ऑफ दैट, दिस इज 15,200 किलोमीटर. बट अगर हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्या देखिए, कोस्ट लाइन को कैलकुलेट करें, कौन कौन सी कोस्ट लाइन? कोस्ट लाइन का मतलब क्या है? Coastline means that which is near to the sea. This is a coastline. So this coastline total अगर इसका करें, और which is included in this, and also because islands are also the part of India, Andaman and Lakshadweep, इनका भी अगर coastline calculate करें, so it total sums up to be 7,516.6 kilometer. India is bounded by Yangfold Mountains in the northwest and north and northeast. Yangfold Mountains are what? The Yangfold Mountains are these Himalayan mountains. In mountains ko they are called as the Yangfold Mountains, which are your Himalayan range, which are formed in northwest, this area, north and northeast. Next is note the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of mainland, 30 degree. Okay, from Gujarat to Arunachal there is a time lag of 2 hours. Now if we consider that, how can it happen? Because जब आपका longitudinal extent, इसको मैं longitudinal extent क्यों बोल रही हूँ? If you see, अगर कोई भी दो areas को हमें match करना है, for example this one, if I'm taking these two areas, suppose this and this, right? If I'm telling about the time lag, so obviously this area and this area will have the difference, जबकि वो एक ही latitude पे है, latitude इनका same है, but this will have the different time and this will have a different time. Why? Because latitudinal extent मतलब इनमें difference कितना है, right? ये latitudinal बोलेंगे या longitudinal बोलेंगे? इसको हम बोलेंगे longitudinal, right? This is called longitudinal extent, मतलब दो longitude के बीच में difference कितना है. अब जब दो longitude के बीच का difference ये है, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि इस यहाँ पे टाइम डिफरेंट होगा, यहाँ पे टाइम डिफरेंट होगा, although they are lying at the same latitude. सेम लैटिट्यूड है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने कंसिडर कर लिया ये 8 डिग्री लैटिट्यूड पे, जस्ट फॉर एग्जाम्पल. अब ये भी सेम लैटिट्यूड पे है, ये भी सेम लैटिट्यूड, बट इनका अब लॉन्गिट्यूडनल एक्सटेंड देखिए. लॉन्गिट्यूडनल एक्सटेंड कैसे पता चलेगा? बाय रेफरिंग दिस, ठीक है. इनका एक्सटेंड कितना है, डिस्टेंस कितना है, तो वो हम देखेंगे. एंड देन यहाँ पे सबसे पहले द टाइम विल बी डिफरेंट, फिर यहाँ पे देयर विल बी अ टाइम लैग, राइट. सिमिलरली इंडिया के साथ भी ये प्रॉब्लम है. अरुणाचल एंड गुजरात में, अरुणाचल इज लाइंग far in the east, right, and Gujarat is lying far in the west, so definitely they have a time lag of 2 hours. Even I myself have experienced this thing, that in the north direction or in the northeast direction, the sun rises at around, in summers, 4:30 or 5 o'clock, 4:35 के बीच में, and the day starts early, right, and in Gujarat it happens after 2 hours, right. So we do have a time lag, but India follows one time zone. India एक ही time zone follow करता है, ठीक है. Next we have from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours, hence time along the standard meridian of India 82 degree 30 passing through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh is taken as standard time. अब पूरी कंट्री के लिए, अब बिकॉज इतना टाइम डिफरेंस है डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पार्ट्स में, तो हमें एक स्टैंडर्ड टाइम तो लेना पड़ेगा जो सारी कंट्री फॉलो करे एक साथ. So what is that standard time? We are taking that standard time is from the Mirzapur. There is a place Mirzapur, right, in Uttar Pradesh, from where the longitude is being passed, and this longitude is passing from 82 degree east. और ये लॉन्गिट्यूड जो है आपका, दिस जहां पे जो टाइम होगा वही आपका कंसीडर किया जाएगा व्हाट स्टैंडर्ड टाइम फॉर होल कंट्री. ठीक है, आई एम अगेन रिपीटिंग, स्टैंडर्ड टाइम ऑफ इंडिया 82 डिग्री 30 ईस्ट पासिंग थ्रू मिर्जापुर इन उत्तर प्रदेश टेकन एज द स्टैंडर्ड टाइम फॉर द होल कंट्री. एंड लैटिट्यूडल एक्सटेंट इन्फ्लुएंसेस द डे एंड नाइट. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट, इंडिया एंड द वर्ल्ड. इंडिया लैंडमास हैज अ सेंट्रल लोकेशन बिटवीन ईस्ट एंड वेस्ट. यहाँ पे अगर जाएंगे तो वेस्ट होगा, इंडिया के राइट में जाएंगे तो ईस्ट. इंडिया इज अ साउथवर्ड एक्सटेंशन ऑफ एंशिएंट कॉन्टिनेंट. इंडिया कम्स इन द साउथ ईस्ट, in the south Asian countries, right? And to the right of it lies the to the southeast direction it lies the Southeast Asian countries, all your Philippines, your Indonesia, etc., right? So the trans-Indian ocean routes which connects the countries of Europe in the west and countries of East Asia provides a strategic central location to India. Next, no country has such a long coastline on Indian Ocean as India, and has indeed it is India's eminent position in the Indian Ocean. Now look at the Indian Ocean here. If you can see the map here and refer to the atlases if you are having and carrying it, you can refer to the Black Swan Atlas or any atlas which is suitable to all of you. So you can see here Indian Ocean. Here you have the Indian Ocean, right? So if you see that India is lying to the Indian Ocean, this west extent and the east one, they all are lying here, right? And it is taking an eminent position. Why? Because it can get connected from here to the west as well as to the east. So definitely it has a strategic location in this area, right? So we can have a look at the map here also. I'm just revising all of it. If you can see the extent, these are the longitudinal extent, which is your 68 degree, which is your 97. This is what we have considered as the standard meridian of India, right? From where we are taking the standard time for the whole country. If you see this extent, ये क्या है किलोमीटर वाइज, आप डिस्टेंस ले रहे हैं फ्रॉम नॉर्थ टू साउथ, विच इज योर 3214 किलोमीटर. और अगर हम इसको ऐसे लेंथ को मेजर करें, सो विच इज 2933 किलोमीटर. सो दिस इज द एक्सटेंट which how much is the extent? This is the extent longitudinal wise, कितना इसका distance है from here. And if you can map north to south का जो distance है वो ज़्यादा है as compared to west to east. ठीक है, क्योंकि 3000 में है वो 2000 में है. ठीक है, ज़्यादा बहुत ज़्यादा difference नहीं है, but yes. And you can see this is the tropic of Cancer which is passing, right? Next, India's contact with the world have continued through ages, right? This we have done already. These routes have contributed to exchange of ideas, commodities, the ideas of Upanishad, Ramayana, stories of Panchatra, and Indian numerals and decimal systems have gone far, and they have influenced a lot of people around the globe. Now, who are the India's neighbor and how important India's position is? India occupies an important strategic position in South Asia. India has 28 states and 8 union territories. India shares its land boundary with Pakistan, Afghanistan in northwest, China, Nepal, Bhutan in north, Myanmar, Bangladesh in the east, and other southern neighbors as well. So if you see here, if you can see the map clearly, so here we are having the land boundary. Ab China ke saath we are having a LAC, which is called as line of actual control, or with the Pakistan we are having LOC, which we call it as line of control. Okay? So with both of them we have to maintain a kind of a relation where we have to be extra careful, vigilant, reason being because they are at these, because in fact China has taken the major part of the India. They have acquired the Exide. They have claimed that it's China's, but India is saying no, it is ours. So this is what the fight is all about. Then we have some peaceful neighbors also with us, like Bhutan, and we do have some other neighbors like we have Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, etc. So they all are present. Myanmar. Next, coming to, okay, to Sri Lanka. Now Sri Lanka and India are separated from a very narrow strait here. This strait we call it as Park Strait, right? And Gulf of Mannar. In Gulf of Mannar, while Maldives are situated to the south of Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep is where? Here. उनके साउथ में क्या है? We will have Maldives. ठीक है? India has a very strong geographical and historical links. अब historical geographical links क्यों बोला strong है? Because in earlier times also, it is not today that we are exchanging and exporting the things. In the ancient time also, a lot of rulers, very famous rulers from southern India also, with Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas, and many more, they have traded very well in the with the different parts of the world, right? Especially the neighboring countries. Right? Now, what you need to do, I would not like you to skip the exercises. These are very, very important exercises. If I see one of the example of it, like the easternmost longitude of India. तो क्या होगा easternmost longitude? This side or this side? Definitely this side, 97. So these exercises will help you to understand that how much you have understood, what is the level of your understanding of this simple chapters. So do go through that. यहाँ पे map skills है, island groups of India lying to the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, you can mark them. Northernmost latitude in degree, you can mark them. This will help you out in analyzing and naming the different parts of the states, countries, and understanding it in detail. Thank you so much. I'll come with another video with another lecture, and I hope you have understood it well. Thank you so much.